Hello everybody and welcome back to Amazing Tech for All. As you can see, the previous video we were installing Ubuntu Linux on a virtual machine after we downloaded the ISO. Today we're going to be exploring the file system. So let's log into the system. Let's just log in. Okay. Unlike Windows, Ubuntu Linux or all Linuxes have a file system that starts with what is referred to as root. So that is the /. So let's take a look at how this looks, and the best way to do this, to navigate this, is via a terminal. So you'll see here we have the server name or the computer name and the user that is logged in. So let's take a look. Let's first take a look and see what is underneath us. So if we use files, which is the graphical interface to view it, let's go there. And here you can see all the systems or all the folders that are under the home directory. So the home directory is this, where when you log in, you open a terminal, that is what you'll find. So if we do ls over here, we should see exactly the same folders like we see in the file manager over here, right? So let's see if we can put these two side by side, just so we can. Here we go. And this one will go on the side over here. There we go. So these are the same directories, but in a graphical interface. So how does the file system work? This is the root file system in Linux is referred to as the / is referred to as root. So if we do that and we say pwd, that will give us, that is you can see pwd stands for present working directory. So that's where we currently are. If I just type in cd, I believe it will take me to my home directory. Let me just see. pwd now. Yes, that is the home directory for user 1. So that is and if I do a ls here, you will see those are the folders that are there, right? But everything is really measured under this here. So if we go cd /, then we will see, then we do a ls over here, this is actually everything else is organized underneath this folder here. Anyway, so you can see all these. We can make it a little larger so we can see. Let's just go here. So that'll give us a bit bigger view of what's in there, right? So we can look at if we can find the same type of thing here by just clicking / and enter, and that'll give us all the same folders. You can see that. So this is a listing of everything that you can see there, right? So now let's take a look at the individual directories. The root file system is where everything is organized under, which is the /. As we saw here earlier, that is /, right? So we can choose to use the command line to navigate it, or we can go through here. So now we'll use the graphical interface for now. All right. So under our home directory, this is where you will find all the users. So if there were other users on the system, each one of them will have a home directory. However, if whichever user you are logged in as, you will only be able to access that folder. So the root directory or the home directory is where each user will have their folder, right? This is where you find your documents, your downloads, your desktop, and other personal files associated with your user account. Then if we move on, we have the root. This is the root user. So this directory is for the root user. If you are logged in as root, you can go in there. You can see this little cross here means that my normal user that's logged in here does not have permission to access this folder. I can double click, it will ask me for a user password, an admin password. So I can't access that as my normal user. Then we will go into the etc directory. So the etc directory is where you will find configuration files and all those type of things associated with networking and user accounts and installed services configurations. So whatever configuration that you need to do, you can find in here. You will also find like system-wide stuff, like your hosts file will be your fs tab file. So let's just take a look and see if you can access this file. This is all the stuff that's in there. So these are the host file. You can go and open a variety of other, there's environment variable files, there's user files and password files and so on. That's all under the etc folder. Let's go back to the root directory. In the var folder, this is where you will find things like your logs. So all the logs for all the system, if you are troubleshooting, this is the best place to find it. There's also your cache folder. So to make things data that needs to be accessible later on, or that needs to be accessible quickly. For example, if you install a new application using apt will keep a copy of that underneath here in archives, and then you'll be able to go and if you need to remove it and install it again, it won't download it again, it will just go and look at the cache. The spool folder is also used for your printing and for your mail, so that when you jobs that needs that sequential, they can run through the spool folder. Yes. And then we can go to the bin directory. Now the bin directory, hopefully this will take us in there. This is usually where all your binaries sit. So your commands like your ls command and your cp command and your mv command, they all reside under the bin directory. Then there's the sbin directory, which is similar to bin, but I think it is referred to as system binaries. So yeah, so if you want to do a reboot, it will be, this command will reside under here, and it's typically used by the root user only. Right, this sbin folder, the binaries that reside over here, things like your file system checker, your fsck, they will reside over here as well. Next, we will go to the usr file folder, which we will find over here. So here you will find shared folders, whether it be, sometimes it's fonts that reside over here. There's usually libraries that are common to a variety of things, and your shares is usually where you'll have a variety of things like your icons and your manual files is usually under here. So if you had to which we'll cover in a later video, man is a very, very important command. You will be using that those commands will find its files underneath the share folder. Then there is the bin directory and the lib directory. So these are associated with libraries for certain applications, and there are some more common commands under the usr bin folder. Another folder that is important is the dev folder. All your devices, whether it be your screen or your CPU or your drives, your sound, this is usually where your drive is mounted under your dev mapper. And even a floppy drive, which nobody uses anymore, that is just a legacy link that's still there. But all of those things associated with your devices are usually under your dev, so / or root dev folder. Your temp folder, your tmp folder, this is where files here are often deleted automatically. This directory, it stores temporary files that's created when the system is being used. So these are usually cleared out on a daily basis. Let's see. Then the proc folder is where there's processes. Let's go there. This is a virtual file system that provides information about the running processes and and system resources. It doesn't contain real files on the disk, it's just generated memory, right? So the proc will have your CPU info, like the details about your CPU and your memory information, right? Then there is the OPT folder. So let's go there. OPT, this is an optional folder, all right? This is when you have third-party applications that you install that is not actually using your general, like your applications, your app center. So you'll use third-party applications, things that are not in the repository. Then another two important things. So if you stick a memory stick into your USB, it will be mounted using a folder in here. So if I put a USB in, it will automatically generate a subdirectory under media, and this will make it accessible to your user account. Then this MNT folder can be used to mount certain things. So you'll create a folder. So you'll mount your, say for example, an external drive that's sitting on the network. You can mount it over here. So yeah, these are all things that this sort of constitutes a Linux file system. If we look at the command line options, for example, I've done a ls command. Let's just go back there. ls, right? That gives us all the folders that's there. So we can go into cd home, like we mentioned before. And then we'll do a ls over here. And the user that I'm using is user 1. So cd user 1 and just ls, and that'll be all my directories. And you can see all the others that we mentioned before, like var, ls. Those are the ones that are available in var. This is often where we also stick our most websites that's deployed on an Ubuntu server will end up under var, and this will be where your websites are residing from. So yeah, this has been a short video on what the Linux file system looks like. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you soon again.